Everyone, welcome back to Breslov Efrat here at Shira David. Erev Chanukah, unbelievable. Huh? We're in Eretz Yisroel, in Efrat, Baruch Hashem, Erev Chanukah. Hope everyone had a wonderful Shabbos.
Yes.
And remember, when you greet somebody on Chanukah, you say Chanukah Sameach, right? We said, why do you say Sameach? Because Sameach is a reference to Shabbos, Chodesh, and Mila, right? Those are the three gezeros, those are the three decrees the Greeks enacted against us. So therefore we have those, and it's very beautiful that the way it works out, that on Chanukah, you actually have all three, right? Because Chanukah is 8 days, so that means you'll always have a Shabbos. And because Chanukah starts on the 25th of Kislev, you'll always have a Rosh Chodesh, right? And the holiday itself is 8 days, connected the 8 days of the Mila. So you have the whole thing in the Chanukah itself. So when you say Chanukah Sameach, you're making a reference to all of that. It's so beautiful. Okay, so we're going to learn now, Likutey Halachos, we're learning Hilchos Birchas Hamazon. It was so beautiful that we learned so many beautiful ideas on Chanukah last week in Hilchos Birchas Hamazon, in Halacha Gimel, and now we're starting Halacha Daled. So today is Halacha Daled Aleph. Okay, so this is based on, the Rebbe says here, Al Pi HaTorah Mi'odeya Me'eretz Yisroel, Likutey Moharan, Simin Mem, Ayin Shem Kol HaTorah Heitev. See the whole lesson. It's a beautiful, beautiful lesson. It's a short lesson. It's not a long lesson. Most of the lessons in the second book are short. It's a beautiful lesson where the Rebbe shows how beautiful Eretz Yisroel is, and he also explains the beauty of the kibbutz of Rosh Hashanah coming together by the tzaddik. And he explains that you can pretty much see when you meet a person that was by the Rebbe for Rosh Hashanah, you can see in that person an aspect of Eretz Yisroel with how do you say it? I'm trying to figure out how you do it exactly. You see something special about that person because that person was there. The way we know that the Rebbe said, anyone that was by me by Rosh Hashanah should be happy all year long, right? Because it's an aspect of the same way you come together with people, and you're davening, especially on Erev Rosh Hashanah. Inuman is so special. Erev Rosh Hashanah, where all the people get together, and there's such an outpouring of tshuva and a tshuka to longing to get closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So that's the same idea, the tshuka to Eretz Yisroel. So let's see what he says now. Now Aleph is going to be a review of lesson 40. So here we go. Baklal sheikah kedushas Eretz Yisroel hu al yedei einei Hashem. The main. Okay, so we know that Eretz Yisroel has kedusha, right? It's holy. So how is Eretz Yisroel holy? What makes Eretz Yisroel holy? So it's Einei Hashem. Al Yedei Hashem Yisbarach Mistakel. The way HaKadosh Baruch Hu gazes, he looks at. Okay? Mistakel Sham. Shal Yedei Zeh Avira the Eretz Yisroel Machkim. The Avir of Eretz Yisroel makes a person wise. And Chazal say that in Baba Basra, that's a lashon of Chazal. When you're in Eretz Yisroel, it makes a person wiser. Why? Because he's breathing the air of Eretz Yisroel. That's beautiful, right? Just by being in Eretz Yisroel, you're breathing the air of Eretz Yisroel, right? And by breathing the air of Eretz Yisroel, it can make you wiser. How? He's going to explain. Ki einayim al shem hachokma nema, because eyes are referred to chokma, smartness, wisdom, chokma. He's going to explain. Eker bechinas einei Hashem nisoirim al yedei his parus shashem Yisbarach mispoyer im Yisrael. And how do you awaken this idea that Hashem looks at Eretz Yisroel? When HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes pride and glory and pleasure in seeing Klal Yisrael and seeing what we're doing, right? In other words, all the good things that we do. In other words, because again, remember, before Hashem made the world, there were these angels that said to Hashem, don't make the world, right? No, don't make man. Man's going to fail. Why are you going to make man? But Hashem made the world anyway, and that's why we're here. So anytime we do something to give Hashem ammunition against the opposition, He's very happy, right? It's truly amazing, because it's hard for us to understand that. Because if anyone is in a position of power, and there's someone bothering you, you get rid of the person. You get rid of them, right? Someone's bothering you, you just get out. If you own a company, the guy's bothering you, you fire the guy. You get rid of him. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu runs the things in such a way that he created the opposition and he deals with it. It's remarkable. It's really remarkable. Hashem could change. He can get rid of the opposition. I mean, think about it. If a person can fire someone that's bothering you, of course Hashem can get rid of these angels. Listen, shut up or I'll get rid of you. You cease to exist. No, but HaKadosh Baruch Hu makes the world. He made the world, and He plays by His own rules. Right? These are His own rules. He made the world, and He runs the world based on the rules that He made it, and He doesn't cheat.
So when you say that, think about when He destroyed the world, right? Like before Noah.
Right, but He didn't. He destroyed the world, but He kept the world alive, going.
Right.
Through Noah and his the 7 people in the Teva and the animals, right? Right.
He did keep it going.
So every time we do something, here we go, trying to understand, why does Eretz Yisroel have Kedusha? Because Einei Hashem Elokecha ba mireishis hashana l'achri shana. Hashem's looking at Eretz Yisroel. The eyes are sanctifying the land, sanctifying the air of the land, and that's why the Gemara in Baba Basra says, Eretz Yisroel is mechakim. Machkim, right? It makes the person smart, because again, okay. Yisrael asher b'cho espoir. Okay, we know that the Gemara tells us that Hashem has tefillin, right? And HaKadosh Baruch Hu's tefillin, He writes Yisrael asher b'cho espoir, right? HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes His pyrus in Klal Yisrael. Shezeh b'chinas tefillin. That's the idea of tefillin. Again, that's what the idea that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has the tefillin. Okay, we're going to see in a minute. Shemistakel al aspirus hazos nasen etzloi gam kain bebechinas moichin utfillin, makes the idea of tefillin and mind and tefillin. Again, you wear the tefillin right above your moach, right above the mind, right? By kiyin einayim, or by moichin by kiyin einayim, and the moach is actually, it causes the eyes to see. Right, in other words, like we learned this idea. The eyes are a tool of the mind. The mind doesn't have any. It cannot see, so it uses the eyes as its tool in order to see what's going on around it. In other words, the mind is curious about something, so it tells the eyes to go look around and see what's going around. Message goes back to the mind. It's very interesting. Right? It's very, very interesting. And it was like we have, let's say, a silly example. It's at nighttime, it's really dark, so you turn on your headlights so you can see. Right? I'm just giving, in other words, there's things out there, you can't see them, but turn on the light, you can see them. Right? So the mind works like that. The mind can't see anything, so it tells the eyes to see. That's why everything that we see really affects the mind. That's why Kedusha Seinayim is very, very important. What you see is very, very important. Right? It's very, very important.
And it's also the organ that they can see, they can, touch the furthest things out of all the other senses. I mean,
It goes farther.
Yeah, then,
It goes further.
Than anything else, right? Like
Well, the ears can hear also. The ears also can hear things from far away.
But I can, with my eyes, I can actually grab something that is
Okay,
far
okay.
away from me.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it's far-reaching.
Yeah.
Far-reaching. Okay. V'azai gam b'chol mokim shu mistakel nase gam kein ha'avi b'chinas Eretz Yisroel. So again, this person, the Rebbe explains in the lesson, that sees the tzaddik, that spends time with the tzaddik, that goes to the kibbutz on Rosh Hashanah by the tzaddik. Okay, that person has a new perspective in life, has a different way to look at things. He sees things in a different idea, in a different way, in a way of Eretz Yisroel. It's amazing. That's why there's so much opposition not to go to the Rebbe for Rosh Hashanah. Right? Go any time of the year. Just don't go on Rosh Hashanah. Right? All these rabbis, they claim that they're Breslovers. They always say, Rabbi Nachman. But they never once made it to Rosh Hashanah, to buy the Rebbe for Rosh Hashanah. And he said, that's the most important thing. The Rebbe said, the most important thing is come to me for Rosh Hashanah, on Rosh Hashanah. And these rabbis that go with Breslov, Rabbi Nachman, and they never went to Rabbi Nachman one time for Rosh Hashanah. It's amazing, right? Anyway, all right, that lesson 40. If you want to understand what I'm saying, you can look at lesson 40, second book. Okay, second book, lesson 40. It's a short lesson. It's only a few pages. It's a short lesson. It's not.
As to what? As to why?
He connects Eretz Yisroel together with the seeing Riyas Pnei HaTzadik. Okay, Riyas Pnei HaTzadik in Eretz Yisroel, because again, in Eretz Yisroel, you feel something special in Eretz Yisroel, right? You can, because again, the Gemara says that Eretz Yisroel is machkim, right? The Avir Eretz Yisroel is machkim. So when you live in Eretz Yisroel, you become wise. You can recognize Hashem, right? So he also explains in that Torah where when you buy the kibbutz or the tzaddik and you get together with people like-minded.
Yeah.
Unity.
Right?
What?
You have unity.
There's a unity and there's like-mindedness, and then and on Erev Rosh Hashanah, when all people are coming to the tzaddik and they're saying vidui and they're doing what they can Erev Rosh Hashanah to prepare, that's a very, very special thing that you won't have anywhere else. I don't care.
Does he say that in lesson 40?
Yeah.
Specifically about Erev Rosh Hashanah?
Yeah.
So how could you let me not come?
Take a look at the what?
How'd you let me get away with not going this year?
How many times did I ask you to go?
Every day.
Okay.
This Likutey though is what a lot of the people, the holy people, they use, for being outside of Israel.
Right.
They say, I have my tzaddik, I have my kibbutz, I have my chevra.
Yeah. Okay, but again, if you say you're a Breslover and you follow Rabbi Nachman, then he said the most important thing is come to me for Rosh Hashanah. And you can make up any excuse you want. It's okay. But that's what the Rebbe said.
You should get a tour of people to go there for Rosh Hashanah.
Yeah, see, that would be great.
Yeah, great. I have a couple of snagim in the family, and they're
Get them to go.
academic, they're smart. So I say, listen, we should go. Are you crazy? You can go any lunatics in Breslov? I said, no. So you're right, they're lunatics. I'm not arguing with you. You're correct, they are. No, but sociologically, they'll go to Uganda to look for the tribes or this, that. Sociologically, see why in the world did these 50,000 other lunatics go?
Yeah.
Just go from that. Just
Aval his haspira shel Hashem is barak b'atzmai lav kol adam zeichel lirais. This is sparis that our Kadosh Baruch Hu takes in Klal, so not everyone sees this. We spoke about this, that we have those soiled garments that kind of hold us back, right? That's why learning Torah is so important, because when you learn Torah, it cleanses those soiled garments and allows us to see. Right? We're going to light the Hanukkah candles. So there are a lot of people that light the candles and okay, nice candles. I lit the candles. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I don't understand it. It's a light, right? There's a lot of people like that, right? They'll light the candle and they'll look at it, okay, and they'll be bored of it, right? In 2 minutes, right? Okay, I saw the candle. Now what, right? No, but that's only because, they don't see the beauty in the mitzvah Because again, the soiled spiritual garments. They blind us. Literally, blind us from seeing the beauty in the mitzvah. Right? So not everybody's going to see this spirus, this beauty that Hashem has from Ach mi shemistakal ala tzaddik, but anyone that looks at the tzaddik, and again sees any tzaddik, and they realize, wow, look at this person. This is a person that worked on himself to become who he became. Could you imagine anyone that saw Moshe Rabbeinu? Moshe Rabbeinu worked on every midah, and he perfected himself. Right? He perfected himself in every single midah to become Moshe Rabbeinu. So could you imagine anyone that saw Moshe Rabbeinu? Unbelievable. Right? If they cleaned their spiritual garments, they can appreciate it. But there are a lot of people that'll see a great tzaddik, right? There's a lot of people that saw the Chazon Ish. There's a lot of people that saw Rav Kook, saw great tzaddikim, right? But they didn't affect them. And then others one saw them and go, wow, this is wow, right? You understand what I'm saying? Why do some people feel an attachment and others don't? But that other guy, when you send him to the soccer game or the baseball game, wow, he's alive.
He's hot.
Right? You ever see that? Right? The same guy, you send him, put him in front of the menorah, he doesn't see anything. But put him in the stadium with the sport, whatever his sport is, wow, he's alive. Same guy, right? It's amazing.
See how many people park at the stadium.
How many people what? Park?
Yeah, whatever. The whole, the high.
The first time I saw that, I was like, what is going on here?
They were on the bridge park.
Coming from New York, you can't park, you park anywhere. They tow your car away. And here in Israel, I saw the cops are on the highway. They show you park here along on the ramp. It's amazing. They take it very seriously, right? Okay. Anyway, hey look, the Haynu B'Rosh Hashanah. Here these words. Ve'ez sha'oila miskapsem elav. The time that the world comes together. The Haynu B'Rosh Hashanah sha'oz ikar kibbutz. Oh, that's the main kibbutz. That's the main gathering. Rosh Hashanah is the main gathering. V'oz oila esparis harbe me'akibutz, and that the Kodesh Baruch Hu takes a lot of pride in the fact that all these people came together. It happens to be in a place in Uman, in Ukraine. Okay, it happens to be there, but the fact that everyone's still coming to that place, and they're all coming there for one reason, for that same reason. That's amazing. That's amazing, right? David, you felt that, right? Did you feel it?
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
When you have unity, you know it's going on. You just feel it.
Right. Oh, we're going there to serve Hashem. Yeah, so you could say, I could serve Hashem in Israel, and I could serve Hashem in New York, and I could serve Hashem in Sydney, Australia, and I could serve Hashem in all over. Yes, you can. But when all people come together for that one purpose, that's special.
I think part of the reason is, for a long time it took me to realize that the tzaddikim are very special human beings, and we're there to learn from them. I think that's part of it, that they don't realize that, Moshe was a tzaddik, that Hashem didn't give us all personally.
Right.
He taught Moshe, and then Moshe taught everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Just a thought.
V'atzadik kolu mikola aspiras hazois, and the tzaddik is all inclusive of all of this beauty, from the whole group. Because again, it's because of the tzaddik, all the people came there. So he's all inclusive of that. Ki ikir hisparish Hashem Yisbarach b'spar b'yisrael hu yedei tzaddik shemekoriv oisam laHashem Yisbarach shayedei zeh Hashem Yisbarach mispar b'hem nimtzeh she'atzadik hu ba'atzma ikir hisparish. Because again, the tzaddik is the one that commands that the people asks that the people come, right? And he teaches in a certain way that causes the people to want to come to that place. And when they come to that place, so it's all accredited to the tzaddik, right? It's all accredited to the tzaddik. Okay, okay. Mi shemestakel be'einav ba'tzaddik hu mamshech al atzmai gam ke mizois esparis. So if you see in the eyes of the tzaddik, right? You look at the tzaddik, so you could taste, so to say, this is spirus. I don't know, how do you translate the word aspirus in English? Is there a good word to translate it? Pride, specialness.
Splendor, something.
Yossi, do you have a good translation for aspirut? No, okay.
Self-splendor.
Bechinas tefillin, which is an aspect of tefillin. Right? It says that when the people will see your tefillin, the Chol Am Ha'aretz Ro'eh tefillin, they'll be scared of you, right? Tefillin, special. V'azai hisparis hamoichem beikiyim beinayim, v'azai gam b'chol mokim shezeh ha'ish mistakel nasa gam kein Eretz Yisroel. And then when everywhere this person goes, where he looks at, wherever he is in the world, he has this specialness, so he can actually connect with his eyes. Again, the eyes, it says, Tamid Einei Hashem Elekecha Ba Mereishis Hashana Arach V'Shana. How does Eretz Yisroel have the Kedusha? Because Hashem is looking at Eretz Yisroel, right? He's looking at it, right? We know that it's brought down that HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Moshe Rabbeinu to go on the mountain and see the whole Eretz Yisroel. Right? When he looked at it, when Moshe Rabbeinu looked at it, he had to see the whole thing. His eyes were so pure, he purified everything. He purified the land. He purified everything for us. It's amazing. Okay, this is just a little tamsis of the Torah. This is a little taste of the Torah, okay, of lesson 40. If you like these ideas, then I suggest that you take out Likutey Moharan, the second book, lesson 40. It's a short lesson. It's not a long lesson. Okay, but then you'll understand the beauty of Eretz Yisroel, the beauty of the kibbutz of Rosh Hashanah with the Rebbe, why we go there, and okay. Let's go to Beis. Okay, so that was this lesson now. Halacha Dalet is based on that lesson. So that's the theme of Halacha Dalet. That's the theme of Halacha Dalet. Okay, so here we go. So now he's going to tie it to the Kosh Shel Bracha. Right? You have a kosh, you have the cup. Right? We learned about the cup, right? So when you have the kid, when you're benching, so if you have 3 people, right? So the custom is you take a cup, if up to 10. If of course you have 10 or more, you certainly take a cup. Now, ki ikar v'zeh b'chinas kosh shel birchas hamazon tzarich she'yitein by einav. Okay, so this is an interesting one that people don't always know. But when you fill up the cup of wine, you're supposed to look into the wine. Did you ever hear that before, Yossi? You did. Okay.
See your reflection.
See your reflection. Beautiful, right? But you look.
Water in even.
No, they put water in there. No, they put water in because the rabbis taught us that we're supposed to always water our wine down. It's very strong. So that's the reason why we put the 3 drops of water. But okay, that's another thing. Now we're focusing on looking at it. Why is there an idea to look at the wine? Again, Rav Nosson is not telling you to do something you don't do anyhow. He's just showing you why it's so beautiful to do what you're already doing. Okay? So the kos, there's an idea of the kos, and you fill it with wine. Look at the wine. Why should you have to look at the wine? Okay, here we go. We're going to discuss that now. The whole idea of Birchas Hamazon is there to reveal the holiness of Eretz Yisroel. Isn't that so amazing? The whole Tamsis, the whole idea, the whole reason why we have benching is to praise and to recognize the Kedusha, the holiness of the Holy Land. Isn't that amazing? That's a beautiful statement right there. Shemisham Ika Kedushas v'tikun ha'achila kamavaya b'makei macha le'el behilchas devarim hanayig mesuda. We learned that halacha, right? We learned this halacha, right? Hilchas hanayig mesuda, things pertaining to the suda. K'mayshe kosa v'yachalta v'savata v'rachta es Hashem alekecha al ha'oretz ha'toiva asher nasa lach. You will eat, you'll be satiated, you'll bless Hashem, you'll praise Hashem. Where on the good land that Hashem gave to you. Isn't that nice? That's the words that it says, right? V'hikar Kedushas Eretz Yisroel is gala idei heinayim shemistaklim al esparish shel Yisroel. And the main Kedusha comes again through the eyes. Kedushas heinayim. That we're looking at the Hispirus of Klal Yisrael. Okay? V'zeh bechinas koish shel birchas hamazon. That a person has to lift up achar achila shel Yisrael. Right? We bring a cup after we eat. We all ate. We take a cup and we fill it up with the wine. Ki kois shel bracha zeh bechinas klolius hisparis masha Hashem yisbarach mispaya b'Yisrael. So the fact that we have kois, we pick up the kois. We're going to see that the Arizal says that the word be'eleikim and kos is the same gematria, right? It's 86. 86 be'eleikim and elikim and kos is the same gematria. Okay, we'll see in a few minutes. Shayidei zeh nase simcha v'chedva gedola b'chol elamis, and that causes a great joy. Right, a great joy in all of the upper worlds. Again, because whenever we are getting together, we have this cup for benching. We look at the wine, we bench, and we say, "Al ha'aretz ha'tova shenosan loch." Right, v'chalta v'savota v'rak l'Hashem l'kecha al ha'aretz ha'tova shenosan loch. So then HaKadosh Baruch Hu calls all the malachim, and they said, "So you said we shouldn't make the people look. See what they're doing. Look how nice these people are. See how good these people are." And that's why Hashem takes pride in us. Literally. He literally takes pride in us because, again, He's showing them, look, they're doing what they're supposed to do with all the opposition they have. They have so much stuff against them, but they're still getting together and they're praising me. So every little thing we do is so important. We don't realize. But everything we do, HaKadosh Baruch Hu appreciates so much. Because, again, we are giving HaKadosh Baruch Hu the fuel He needs to fight the opposition up on high. Not that He needs it, He wants it. Okay, let's clarify that. HaKadosh Baruch Hu can change the rules anytime He wants to. This is what He chooses. And now the fact that we are allowing Hashem to keep going the rules of His creation, so He appreciates that, right? I mean, you see this. Lahavdil, you see this. Like, let's say you have a world leader, right? So he has his people under him. So the people try to do what the guy likes, right? They try to do what he likes. Then he appreciates that, right? I mean, it's silly, right? You have a boss of a company, right? So the workers try to do what the boss likes. So he should give them more money or something, right? Right, okay. We're the opposite now. When the Jew falls from his avoda, where he's too involved in his soiled spiritual garments, and he doesn't see the beauty of things, and he starts to fall away. And he's distancing himself from Hashem. So then that's the opposite of chedva and joy and happiness. Is the opposite is atzvus, is depression. Chas v'sholem bechinas vayisatzev el libay. Yeah, where HaKadosh Baruch Hu said that, right?
That's in Bereshit.
Yeah, in Bereshit, right? When Hashem saw how bad the people were.
Oh.
When he saw how bad the people were, which led to Noach, right? The end of the parsha, which had led to Noach, and he realized, so that brought atzvus.
In Hashem.
Well, Hashem said that. He says that. That's what the Torah says. The Torah says that word. As the Gemara says in Sanhedrin Mem Vav Amid Aleph, as the Gemara says, when a person is pain, when a person has pain, Shchina ma'ay meres kaloini meiroishi kaloini mizroi. So the Shekhinah cries out that the Shekhinah has a headache and has a pain in the arm. That's very interesting. Why? What's the connection of a headache and a pain in the arm? Like, well, what are the two?
Which arm, left or right?
It doesn't make a difference. You'll see in a minute. It could be either one.
From the tefillin, right?
Right. Very good. Kamuba b'mayim hazeh. Again in lesson 40, right? Aval behepech kish Yisroel miskarvim laHashem Yisbarach laHashem Yisbarach mispayer bahem azay netoisef oiz v'chedva b'chol olamais, which is the opposite. So there's when we're not doing the right thing, and then we have, like we learned last week's lesson. We were learning in Halacha Gimel. So then the person has embarrassment in his heart, right? So then it brings the person to depression, right? Which brings the person away from. That's why when you see the Hanukkah candles, and we said that the time that you light the Hanukkah candles is when you have the koichavim, go out, seisa koichavim, right? Ad shetichle regel men hashuk. Remember we learned that on Erev Shabbos. When is the right time to light the candles, right? From the time that you see the stars, right? Because every Jew is a star. Every Jew has light, right?
But on Shabbat, you can't wait until then to light them.
No, on Shabbat, on Friday you can't.
Right.
No.
Can you light them early during the week if you're going to be going out that night? No?
Oh, yeah. There's room for that. Yeah, if you're going to be going away, then you can light them earlier. Yes, you can, but they have to still burn into 30 minutes into the night. After the Shkia. Okay, Bechinas Yismach Hashem b'masav. HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes a lot of pride. He's very joyful of what he did. In other words, again, when we do the right thing, it brings Hashem a great joy. Isn't that wonderful to know? Right? You do the right thing, you're bringing Hashem joy. It's great. Bechinas Masa Yodai Li'Ispar. Masa Yodai Li'Ispar. Hashem takes pride in his action, the things that he made. Masa Yodai Li'Ispar. Right? His handiwork, I guess you could say, right? His handiwork, he takes pride in his handiwork. Hashem Yisbarach sos v'sameach keviyachal begoydol isparas shemekabel meYisrael shezeo shashuav v'simchasa Yisbarach. That's his great joy, cheering, joyfulness that HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes. K'may shekasav l'inyan isparas shalonu shanu misparin ima Yisbarach b'shimcha yegilun kol hayom, as we say on Rosh Hashanah. Right, B'shimcha Yagilun Kol Hayom, with your name will be Yagil, will have joy, right? Kol Hayom, the whole day. That's referring to Rosh Hashanah. Ki Tiferes Uzamai Ata, right? In other words that we say on Rosh Hashanah, right? Ki Tiferes, again Tiferes, Hispirus, Tiferes, pride, splendor. Uzam is the power, is his power. What is Uzamai? Strength, right? Strength. Ki hisparus hu simcha k'may shekosav yispoyer anovim b'Yeshua ya'alzu chasidim b'chovayt v'ksiv sois osis b'Hashem togel nafshi b'lekei ki hilbishani bigdei yesha me'il tzedaka yeta'eni kechosan yechayein pe'er. Okay, he brings a pasuk from Yeshaya. Nimsa shespiris hu simcha. Okay, so he proved that. Okay, whenever HaKadosh Baruch Hu has pride, and we see the spirals, we see the beauty. When we can come to see the beauty in Eretz Yisroel, we can come to see the beauty in the kibbutz of Jews together, the gathering of Jews together. When we can see the beauty in it, that is simcha. That brings a person to joy. This is the idea, the hispirus, that the wine can bring joy, right? If a person drinks the wine, as we said, because you're doing it for a kais shel bracha, right? You're drinking the wine not to drink wine that you're going to a wine tasting place, right? And you're going to go taste all different wine. No, you have the kais shel bracha, right? You're making kiddush. You're benching, and you have the kais, and you have the cup, and it's filled with wine. You look at the wine, and you drink that wine, that dry wine will bring you to simcha because again, it's from a mitzvah. V'bechinas hayayin shel koi shel bracha k'may shekosov v'yayin yismach levav enesh, as the pasuk says, v'yayin yismach levav enesh, the wine will bring joy to the heart of the person. Right? Levav enesh, levav is the heart. Ki hayayin the kedusha, the hainu hayayin shel bracha, hu bechinas simcha, the hainu bechinas klolis hisparis, is that bechinas simcha. So it's all about simcha, right? Joy brings you from wine, can bring you to joy. When you're doing a mitzvah, it can bring you joy. Anything that you do that brings you closer to Hashem can bring you joy. Because why? Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is taking his spirus in it. Therefore, when you involve yourself in the mitzvah, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes his spirus, that brings you to a simcha as well. Because you brought a joy up on high. Got it? Because it says we only say shir. We established that the other day when in the Beis Hamikdash, right? It was when they said their shir, they would do the wine. While they were doing the wine libations on the sacrifices, right? They would do the wine libations on the sacrifice. While they were doing that, the Levium were singing, right? Ein shir ela yayin k'may shavra says on the bracha in brachas ala pasuk hamesameach elikim va'anoshim mikan she'ein oimrim shir ela ala yayin. You only say shir while there's wine, song with wine. The whole ashiras is the bracha is heim bechinas hisparis, and the whole idea of the song and praise, the whole idea of Chanukah. Right? There's the whole idea of the whole thing of Chanukah is this idea of song brings hispirus. Okay, shadnu mishapchen afar and oisa yizbarach b'shia v'radan v'halal v'simcha. Right, we're going to say the full halal. Right, the mitzvah Hashem tomorrow. Right, we're going to say the full halal. Ki Hashem yizbarach mispoyer misroim ma'idei shiras yizbarach shalam yisrael. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes joy. Has a lot of joy when we are praising him in this world. It's amazing. It's truly amazing to think that we can cause up on high, we can cause great joy on high via doing the right thing down here. Praising Hashem down here. It's amazing. Isn't that not amazing? Great, great, great. Goy, zeh bechinas hispirus, bechinas Hashem molach geyes lovesh, as we say in the shir from Friday on the Erev Shabbos. Hashem molach geyes lovesh. Hashem wears, so to say, geyes. What does that mean that he wears geyes? The idea bechinas levushay gavosay v'hisparusay. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when we come together, HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves it. He wears, so to say, he encloses himself in the hispirus when we are doing the right thing down here. V'azu bechinas hashir el Hashem ki hashir v'hashevach hu bechinas hispirus v'gavosai kiviyachol v'al kein hayayin shel bracha hu bechinas klolius hispirus. Therefore, the wine of the coast is all inclusive of the hispirus. Again, because you're lifting up the kos and you're looking at the wine in the kos because it's a bracha, because it's a mitzvah, and you understand via me doing this, and I'm praising Eretz Yisroel, where HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Tamid Einei Hashem Elokecha Bam Reisha Shana Achri Shana, and it's praising the Eretz Yisroel that Hashem is looking at, and then I look at the wine that it's like the same way Hashem is looking at Eretz Yisroel. And I can bring that hispirus and the kedusha via looking at it's amazing, just to connect the whole thing together. Because we only say shir when it comes to wine. Okay, any questions on this? Does anyone understand this? Does anyone have any questions on this? Please. No questions.
Well, it's just interesting to me when I'm learning it.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's hard to believe. But then I experience it.
Yeah.
But even when I experience it and then I come back and I'm learning it with you, it still seems like it's hard to believe at times. It's like surreal. It's like There's a connection, and they go. I know, but
Yeah, because when you experience that, when you're singing and praising Hashem, you feel that aspires. You feel something.
Yeah.
And you learn, but now you understand what you were feeling. You learn what you're feeling. It's truly amazing. Okay, so we'll leave it over here for now, and then we're going to learn now. Let's learn halacha and Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. Okay. Maybe we'll do halacha where we're up to, and then we'll go to Chanukah. We'll do one halacha on Hilchas Chanukah. Should we do that?
Sounds good.
Yeah? Okay, we'll do that also. Okay. I think today we're up to Yud Test 19. Is that right? Okay. Here's a very important one. Chayev Adam lizoyer b'yisayimim v'almanos. A person has to be very, very careful how he deals with orphans and he deals with widows. Widows, right? A widow. Haman is a widow, right? Only speak to them in a very smooth, nice tone, in a nice, soft tone. And give them respect. Don't cause them anguish, pain, even with words. Don't do things, especially don't even say things in a snide way, in a derogatory way. Okay, because their souls are low, because again the lady lost her husband. Right, Chas v'sholem, right? The child lost the mother or father, right? Afal pi shehein balei mammon, even though they may be a people of means, right? This widow may be a very wealthy lady. She may be a very wealthy lady. And the children may have inherited, the guy may have had, their father may have had a big life insurance policy. He inherited millions of dollars, who knows, or he inherited a business. Even if you have, for example, he gives you an example, you have the let's say the queen, or you have the princes or the princesses of the king, right? They're considered a almana, still considered a yasam, okay? Musharim anu aleim, we're still warned on their respect as well. Shenema kol almana v'yasam loy ta'anun, don't pain any yasam and an almana. It's a mitzvah in the Torah. It's a negative commandment in the Torah. It's shemais, okay? Bris kares lahem mi she'amar v'haya olam. Hashem made a treaty with the almanas and the yisayim. I'll take care of them. Hashem takes responsibility. He took away the husband. He took away the father, parent. So Hashem says, I will take care of them. Shekol zman shehein soyakin machmas chamas shenase lahem. If someone did a ma'isa chamas, right? Did something bad to them, did something nasty to them, right? Did something nasty, and they cry out, I'm going to answer them. Hashem says, I'll answer them. So in other words, we have to be very careful when we're dealing with orphans, or we're dealing with widowers. What? Widows, right? You have to be very careful that you talk to them very nicely. You don't want them to complain to Hashem about what you said, because Hashem's going to listen to them. He has a treaty with them.
Is there any time that it goes away?
He's going to talk about that in a minute. Okay. Shenemar ki im tzayak yitzak elai. Shama eshma tzakosai. Hashem says, if they're going to cry out to me, I'll certainly hear their cry. B'med devar mamurim. What are we talking about that? She'ina oisam l'tzorech atzmai. You did something that was pertaining to whatever, for you, something to do with you. Right? Aval ina oisam harav kidei lilamdem Torah oy umnas oy lahalochem b'derech yeshara. But let's say the rabbi is trying to teach them. Or you take on this orphan, and you're teaching him a trade. So you have to teach him the trade. So it's not like you're trying to help him. So it may come off that you're being mean to him. The rabbi may come off that the rabbi is teaching them the halacha, but it may come off that the rabbi is not being nice to them, but that may not be the case, right? Harei zeh mutter. So then you do what you have to do. The rabbi teaches the way he teaches. What do you call it? How do you call him? Not the apprentice. He's the one that's teaching the apprentice. The trainer, the master. The master has to train the apprentice the way he has to train him, so he can learn the trade, and you don't have to worry about that. But do it still, if you can, be in a nice, kinder way. Take the easier path. Take the easier road. Don't be okay. Shenema ki Hashem yariv rivam, because Hashem takes care of their problems. They have a problem, Hashem takes care of their problem. So if they feel a problem because of what you're doing, but again, HaKadosh Baruch Hu also knows if you're doing it for their good, and if it's something that you're doing to help them. So of course that's not going to be the case, okay? But again, always try to be nice to a yasam and to an almana, okay? Echad yasam me'a'ov, he says it doesn't matter if they lost their father, echad yasam me'a'im, or they lost their mother. It doesn't make a difference. Either parent that the person that the individual lost. Ma'ad ema saying the crayim yisayim. Hey, that's your question, right? Ma'ad ema saying the crayim yisayim. How long are they called orphans? Up to how long? L'inyan zeh. Until they are grown up and they can handle themselves, and they maybe they got a job and they're handling themselves and so on. So then they lose the status of an orphan, because now they are not reliant on the parent. Because now they are able to do things on their own, so therefore that's the time that they will lose the status of. It doesn't mean you should be mean to them. Always be nice to all people, but they lose this status of the Yizar. Okay, let's go to Hilchos Chanukah now.
That was what I was going to ask. It's like,
yeah,
shouldn't we be treating all people like this? Why just an orphan?
What do you mean?
So I can yell at someone or embarrass them? I can't embarrass them, but.
No, don't speak to people in a nice way.
Yeah, but so it's not just orphans and widows; it's everyone.
Yeah, let's find.
This will just have a special law.
What's that?
They have an extra cautious one should be.
That's right. Yeah, okay. The Shana, it should be right here now. Hilchos Chanukah, Kuf Lamed Tes.
What book are you looking at?
The Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. Yeah. He tells the story of Hanukkah here. The Kitzur Shulchan Aruch tells the story of Hanukkah. Yeah.
So the kids used to tease the fellow who owned the Makolet here. So the guy was like 75 years old or something. And he'd say to Zeppelinish, Yosim.
Chippimished. Don't bother me, I'm a yasa. Yeah, but when he's 75, he's not a young kid. And he had his own store, so okay. All right, it's cute.
What chapter is this?
Chapter 139.
Okay,
Oh, we'll listen. Okay, we'll listen. Fine. Okay, here we go. 139. Okay. The Bayis Sheni Shemolcha Malchus Yovan. Right? In Bayis Sheni, the second temple, it was during the second temple time. And we had the Yevonim, the Greeks. They were so to say ruling here. Gozru gezeres hayisol v'bitlu dosam v'lo yinichu oisam lasik b'tayra mitzvahs. They nullified our laws, our Torah laws, and they didn't allow us to study Torah and do mitzvahs. Right? That was the problem. And of course they stuck their hands in our money, and of course our daughters, like we said, that they would make sure that before anyone got married, they would have to be with the general, the first. Okay. V'nichnasu leheichel u'partzu by pratzais v'timu es hataharais, and of course they went into the heichel. They set up an avodah zarah there, and they set up and they brought pigs as sacrifices on the mizbeach, and they did pritzes in there. They brought okay. V'tzar lehem liyisrael me'oi mipneihem v'ulachatzum lachatz kodol. They caused a lot. They gave us a lot of pressure. They put a lot of pressure on us. Ad sherachem aleim elekei v'seichem v'yishia miyad v'yitzilam, until HaKadosh Baruch Hu had rachmanis on us and He saved us. V'govru b'nei Chashmonai ha'kohanim ha'gedolim v'hargam v'hishiyu es Yisrael miyadam. And of course the Chashmonaim were able to take care of go to battle against these the multitude of their armies, and they were able to win. Ve'amidu melech min ha'kohanim v'chozra malchus Yisrael yoser ad Mosayim shona ad ha'churban hasheni. And they set up and this was the problem. They made a melech, they made a king from the kohanim, and that was the big problem, because the kingdom does not have to do with the kohanim. It's Shevet Yehuda. From the Yaakov Avinu, it said that the Malchus comes from Shevet Yehuda only, and that was one of the reasons why that they didn't do that, and therefore there's no one left of the Chashmonaim, because they went against the idea that they made a melech from the Kohanim and not a melech from Yehuda.
The Hashmonaim did that?
Yeah, they did that. Yeah, they set up. That was the problem. That's why none of them remained, because they were great. And actually all of their descendants became Hellenists. It's very ironic that it happened, because again, what they fought for, they actually all succumbed to Hellenism. It's very sad. V'gover Yisrael alayveyem v'ibdum. And we were strengthened, and we were able to conquer them. The Chamisha ve'esrim b'chodesh Kislev. Oh yeah, this was on the 25th of Kislev tonight. Isn't it nice? We're learning now. This is right. This is what we did. So today they were fighting, and then we won tonight. Okay. V'nichnasu leheichol v'loi matzu shemen tor b'migdash. And they went into the heichal after we got rid of the Greeks. Right now, the Chashmonaim came back to the Beis Hamikdash, and they saw the shambles that the Beis Hamikdash was in. Again, we learned how beautiful the Beis Hamikdash was, but they defiled everything, and everything was in shambles in there. And they didn't find anything holy in there. But they found that one jug that had a stamp from the Kohen Gadol on it. We spoke a lot about that, okay? But it only had enough to light for one day. But the candles remained lit for 8 days, since we know the miracle of Hanukkah. Okay. Until they were able to crush and make olive oil. But it's shemen tar. They made pure olive oil. So they went to the vineyards, to the olive orchards, they call them. What do they call orchard?
Yeah.
Olive grove, and they got pure olive, and it took them a few days to make it till they came back, and then they had pure oil, right? Because it was always, when the Torah says you take the kosis lamor, it was only the first drop of oil, right? From each olive, it was only the first drop that comes out. That's kosis lamor, right? Mipnei zeh hitkinu chachamim shebeoisei adar yiu shmeinas hayamim ha'elu shemaschilim b'chav hei b'kislev. And therefore, the second year, it wasn't the first year. That's a very amazing thing. They didn't make Hanukkah, it was only the second year. People don't know that. Why was it the second year? They weren't sure if this miracle was a miracle that would come back again. So when they felt the need on the time again to praise Hashem, like we were just learning in here, when they felt that need, that we have to pray. This is a time to praise Hashem. They realize this is a miracle that's there's a kedusha infused in this day.
So they used the oil the first day, but
Yes.
they didn't really create Hanukkah until the second time.
Second year.
Until the second year, after the second
Yeah.
year.
No, the first year wasn't Hanukkah.
Right.
The miracle happened.
Yeah.
And then when they realized it came back again, they felt it in the air.
Yeah.
They felt the avir, right? We were just learning.
Yeah.
This kedusha and these things. And they said, okay, now we're going to make the holiday. It's very interesting.
Is that when they made the king also?
Huh?
Is that when they made, you know what
That I don't know. That I don't know. Yemei Simcha v'Halal, they saw it was a day of Simcha and Halal. Therefore, they established Chanukah. Umadlikim b'hem haneves be'erev al pischei habotim. We light the candles in the evening at the openings of our doorways. B'chol laila v'laila b'shmoinas haleilos, and each and every night on the 8 nights. Laharois ulegalois hanes, in order to see and to reveal and to make publicized, right? The whole thing is Pesume Nisa, the nes, the miracle that happened. Vayam Elin Nikroim Chanukah Rotzu Leimer Chonu Chavhei B'Yoim Chavhei Chonu Me'ayveim. They were rested on the 25th. Chonu Chavhei Chanukah, right? Chonu, they rested Chavhei on the 25th day. Therefore, hence the name is Chanukah. V'yoid mipnei shebeyam ha'elu osu Chanukah sabayis shehayitzirim timi'uhu. And they also did a Chanukah sabayis. In other words, they re-sanctified the Beis Hamikdash because of its defilement. We said that they made a new mizbeach and they redid everything nicely. Okay. Therefore, some say it's nice to make a suda on Chanukah. You don't have to. There's no requirement like on Purim and on Shabbat. You have a requirement to make a suda. Here, it's nice if you can make a suda. Make a suda. Because the Meleches HaMishkan was also finished in these days. When they were making the Mishkan, they actually finished the Mishkan, making the Mishkan, Meleches HaMishkan, in these same days of Chanukah. Isn't that interesting? Tell over your children, tell over the family all the miracles that happened to us and how we were saved.
You mean the first Mishkan?
The Mishkan, yeah. When they were building the Mishkan, it came out the same days. We finished the Melachas HaMishkan. Isn't that nice?
The same day as what?
The days of Hanukkah. Moshe Rabbeinu finished. Moshe finished in the desert, finished building the Mishkan the same time. It'll come up on your app there. This was the time they finished the Mishkan. Okay. Mikol Mokayim Leihave Sudas Mitzvah. It's not considered a Sudas Mitzvah. It's a nice thing to do, but not like this way. We were talking about when you could make it a Sudas Mitzvah if you take 10 people, right, and then you have your kais of yayin, you look in the wine, then you can lift it up, you can make it into a suda, or you can make a suda, or you can make a siyam. Learn a masechta, finish a masechta, and then turn it into a suda's mitzvah. Ela im kein oimer besuda shirais v'sishbachais, but if you say shirais and tishbachais, you sing songs and praises to Hashem, umarbim b'tzedakim b'ben Chanukah, give a tzedakah on Chanukah, that's a very important thing to do. Kihei musugolam l'sakeim b'chol pegamei nafshay al yedei tzedakah, because all problems that you have in your nefesh, all blemishes and all stuff that you did, they have damage in our nefesh, tzedakah can fix it. Tzedakah is tatzal mimavis, right? We know that. Tzedakah can help a person, right? Beyichud l'loimdei Torah ha'aniyim lahachazikam. Again, of course, give money to those that study Torah, because again, when you give money to study for people that study Torah and you help them study Torah, so then you become a partner with them and you benefit by their Torah. That can actually clean your spiritual soil garments as well. So if you can't learn Torah yourself, support people that can learn Torah, and see the benefits that you'll get from that. So Baruch Hashem, we got to start to learn in the Mitzvah Hashem tomorrow. We'll finish. I don't want to stop learning where we are in our regular learning, but we'll do a halacha of Chanukah as well tomorrow. Okay?
Can you clarify something for me?
What?
So, I'm not sure who the Hasmoneim were versus the people who were actually.
We'll talk about it. Everyone have a wonderful day, and again, remember, look at the candles.